Hello everyone. It's Tuesday and it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I am excited about guiding you through a very relaxing yoga practice today. Today's mind body connection is going to focus first on just getting in some of that total body relaxation, and then the later part of class is really just going to be about opening up our shoulders, finding some space in the chest, in the upper back, places where we tend to really close off, tighten up, and for a lot of people carry our stress. It is the holiday seasons. Once again, the holidays do look a lot different than they probably did in the past. So if you're just feeling a little like crowded in on yourself, this is going to be a great class to just help you open up and be your most relaxed self. Yay. Okay, so for today's class, I do recommend, if you have it, that you bring a strap. We'll use the strap at the very end of class. All of the other shoulder openings are just going to be some stretches that you're going to do the best you can with the body that you have today. If you have some blocks or props, as always, please bring those props along, just because I want you to feel as relaxed, as supported, as comfortable as you possibly can. We're going to start in a seated position in Sukhasana, an easy pose of your choice, in 3 minutes at 12:15. If you're here a little early, if you want to lay down in Savasana, or if you just want to change your breath and start to bring on any stretches, any shimmy shakes that feel good for you, let's do it. Grab some water now, have a couple sips before practice starts. You're welcome to hydrate whenever you need. Where did I put class? We won't have any specific water breaks today. If you have some relaxing music that you would like to put on, I encourage you to put on that relaxing music right now. You know I'm obsessed with this room spray. Oh my gosh, I love this lemon spearmint room spray. When I'm going to take some deeper breaths, it just helps me to get in that moment. I should maybe hang a towel over that other. Right? I don't know. Do I need to? I'm going to be down on the floor. Man, I tell you what, let's see how that is. I miss having friends come over to help you with projects, exciting projects like hanging the curtains. I think that's fine. I do have some curtains. I don't remember where I put them because I failed at trying to hang them up. And I just gave up on it because I didn't need to be stressed by it. All right, so we are going to start in a couple minutes here in easy pose. If easy pose is uncomfortable for you, hi Uncle Buck, you can always kick those legs out, just finding, ooh, that feels really good. Finding whatever position feels comfortable for you on the floor. We're going to start off with some neck rolls, just warming up the upper body, shoulders. What are you crying about? But even if you have your legs extended, you are welcome to sit on a block. I promise I will do some extra stretches for you, Sam. Okay, yay, it's that magical time. You have water. There's nothing for doggies to complain about. Okay. All right, so starting off right here on the floor. Thank you. In easy pose, go ahead, take a seat. If you find that those knees are coming up towards your chest, you can always change the position of your legs or lift yourself up, sitting up on a block on top of a pillow or a towel. I would recommend either a hard pillow or something with a little structure. You know what, that sounds nice. Let's do it. And from here, let's just start to come into our breath. It is really normal if you've been away from your practice for a while, or if this is a new practice for you, that it's not as easy for you to get these knees down towards the floor, especially if you find that you're spending a lot more time sitting in a chair than you might have prior to craziness of 2020. So the more that we sit in a chair, the tighter that our hip flexors are. So even just sitting cross-legged is a great way to just work into your breath, starting to find a little bit of length through the crown of your head, working to relax and release your shoulders away from your ears, slowing everything down, taking some time to just be here in this moment. Do a little scan of your body from head to toe. Just notice where you might be harboring any tension, if anything hurts or feels tight or tired. Just work to send your breath into these places, a bit of an energizing breath, also a bit of a breath to just help to break up those tense spots. There's so much power in something as simple as inhaling and exhaling. So inhale in that awareness of whatever it is that your body is feeling or thinking or doing right now, and exhale out any sort of expectations. Just enjoy whatever it is that you can bring to the mat. Make sure that these big breaths are reaching all the way down to the very bottom of your belly, the tip of the diaphragm. Take 2 more right here. And then let's find a little bit of length and some lateral side stretches. So next inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Stretch up or reach through your fingers, but still relax those shoulders away from your ears. One more big inhale, belly tight, stretch up, keep reaching through your left hand fingertips, and exhale your right hand fingertips down towards the floor. Maybe if you're not on a prop, you can even get that forearm down, find a big reach over to the right side of the body. Inhale, lift yourself back up, bring that right arm back up. Exhale, left hand comes down. Take a couple times passing through each side, moving with the pace of your own breath today. If you want to hang out for a little extra on one side, you are welcome to. Just make sure that you equally hit both sides. Give yourself enough time to get one more on each. Finishing with an inhale of those arms up overhead. Exhale, stretch out wide to the side. Maybe even start to turn your head a little in one direction, a little in the opposite direction as you float those fingers down towards the floor. Take another moment right here with your breath, just enjoying that length that you created through your upper body. Beautiful. On your next exhale, bring your chin down to your chest. Can you still squeeze those shoulder blades together and keep that chest nice and open? One more deep inhale, and on your exhale, drop your ear over to your right shoulder. We'll hang out here for a couple cycles of breath. If you need to make the stretch bigger, you can always bring your left hand fingertips to the floor or walk them away or press through your left palm, or even inhale that right arm up towards the ceiling and bend at the elbow and use the weight of your elbow to help pull your right ear a little closer towards your shoulder. Notice though if you brought your shoulder all the way up to reach your ear, and can you relax a little bit more into that stretch? Just finding whatever works for you. Take one more deep inhale. If you have your hand on your head, lift it up, relax it down. Bring your chin back through your chest on that exhale. Take a big inhale here. And then bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Give yourself some time here to relax into the stretch. Once again, notice if those shoulders crept up towards your ears. Option to walk your right hand fingertips away, even inhaling that left arm up towards the ceiling if you want. Bending at the elbow and gently placing your palm on your head. Very light pressure, mostly gravity doing the work. Notice if that shoulder came back up to your ear. Very normal if you're feeling any tension or stress. We're just working to create some extra space right there. Go ahead, take one more big inhale. Release your head from your hand. Relax that hand back down to the floor and chin comes back to the chest. All right, now we're going to use our breath and find a couple of neck rolls. So inhaling, bringing the right ear to the right shoulder. Exhale, chin back down to the chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. And just continue through a couple times around. Going at the pace of your breath and just being mindful that your breath might be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter than mine. Once again, maybe you find a spot of tension as you're doing this gentle little neck roll that you need to hang out in and just continue to breathe through. Or maybe even bringing your fingertips to your body to help you relax out those tense spots. This is your time. This is your practice. Finding what feels good for you today. Just a couple more times through, still keeping that motion in the front of the body. Next time your chin comes down to your chest, go ahead, keep it there for just a moment. And then inhale, lift your head back up. Next, inhale, bring those arms up overhead. We're going to find some spine twists right here. So turning towards the right side, bringing your right hand, left hand fingertips in front of you. Inhale, back up towards the ceiling. Exhale to the left side, right hand fingertips in front of you. Inhale up. So just a nice little gentle twist. Inhale up. Gentle twist. One more time, each side. Inhale up, gentle twist. Last time, inhale up, gentle twist. Inhale those arms up towards the ceiling once more. Go ahead, bring those fingertips down to your shoulders. Great, let's make some elbow kisses right here. So bringing those elbows together, finding some rounding in that back. Going to start warming up the shoulders here. So stretch those elbows up towards the ceiling. On that inhale, draw them back. Start to exhale, bring them down and forward. Begin that breath again. Inhale up, open wide, squeeze shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower rib comes closer to your legs and back towards the front. Go a couple more times around at your own breath. Inhaling up and open. Exhaling down and closed. We'll be literal. A couple can be two. So let's end here down at the bottom. Big rounding of those backs, and we're going to change the direction and our breath. So inhaling down and back. Lifting up. Exhaling forward. And down. Keep it up. Inhale back, up, exhale forward, down. Two more. Inhale back, up, exhale forward, down. Last one. Inhale up. Stretch those elbows up high, bring them in towards each other. Down to the floor, and then slowly, gently roll yourself back up one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. I'm going to release myself from this block because it's no longer serving me. My hips are pretty open, but you're welcome to stay on top of yours if you would like. And also, if that's not feeling good, feel free to kick those legs out in front of you. All right, next up we're gonna go for another big shoulder stretch. So eagle arms. Inhaling your arms back up overhead. Exhale, we're going to bring that right arm underneath of the left. Cross at the elbows and then bring your thumbs towards your face and work to bring your little baby fingers towards the front of the room. If your shoulders are really tight, you can always grab hold of your opposite elbows, but really work to find this opposite shoulder, but work to find this compression of your top elbow, of your left elbow into the right arm that's on the bottom. And if you could get those hands palms together, we're gonna inhale and lift it up. Pull that belly in, ground your sit bone wherever it is for 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Slowly lower down. Inhale, arms back up overhead. And this time opposite, so left arm comes underneath of the right, crossing at the elbows, working to bring those hands palms together with your thumbs at your face. If your shoulders are too tight, you can grab hold of your opposite shoulder and keep that deep cross at your elbows. Get ready to inhale, lift it up, stretching those elbows forward, belly in tight for 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Slowly, gently release down. Inhale, arms back up overhead once more. Stretch up and exhale. Release them down to the side. Let's get a little stretch in our legs and our hips, and then we will move back into the upper body. So next up, we're going to go for deer pose. So go ahead, keep your right leg where it is. We're going to take our left leg, and as we shift onto the right hip, you're going to find two 90-degree angles with your legs. You can keep things really wide, or feel free to take this left foot and bring it all the way in. Creates a little bit more of a stretch on the quad, as opposed to, well, you know, everyone feels it different. I feel this one big time in the hip flexor itself. I'm gonna take this nice stretch on my quad because they're feeling really tight. All right, so starting off, place your hands on your thighs by your knees. Roll those shoulders down away from your ears. See how much you can sit into this left glute. Take a couple breaths right here. And if you want an even deeper stretch in those legs and those hips while still keeping your glutes as grounded to the floor as possible, you can start to walk your arms down. It actually might be a little easier if you turn towards your right leg and lower yourself a little closer towards the floor, bringing a little bit of a spine twist in, dropping that left shoulder forward. Great. Go ahead, press yourself back up. Bring your hands by your hips. Take a moment. You can windshield wipe those legs out. Bringing some of the first big stretches to our legs today. And then we're going to go ahead and drop them down in the opposite side. So once again, working to come into the best 90-90 that you can create with your legs, especially if you're sitting down, you want to get that big stretch in your glute, in your hip. If you want to get a little bit more of that stretch in your calf, in your quad, fold that leg in a little bit more. Just doing the best that you can with what your body has today. Maybe you really want to get the same stretch that I'm doing, but you're feeling a little too tight, and that's okay. Take some time. Be here in your breath. Try again tomorrow, because flexibility is learned. All right, so starting off with those hands on those thighs, take a couple big deep breaths right here. With that exhale, working to release your right glute a little bit more towards the mat, relaxing those shoulders. You can stay right here, or option to come a little bit deeper, bringing those hands to the floor, maybe even bringing those forearms down. Ooh. Starting to bring that stretch through the lower back and the spine. We'll take 2 more breaths right here. Keep them long and slow. And then use that exhale to gently lift yourself up. And from here, we're going to go ahead and kick those legs out in front of us. Yay! All right, take a moment right here in staff pose. So your legs are straight. We're starting to get a nice stretch along the back of the legs and the hamstrings. If you're feeling really tight, you can once again sit up on top of the block. That's going to give you a little bit of release. If you don't have a block or it's far away, you can just take a little bit of a bend in your knees. If you're feeling any discomfort in that lower back, I want you to really take a moment, carefully walk one glute back and then the other. Start to find that forward tilt at your pelvis, bringing your belly towards your thighs, and then you can come back to those slightly bent knees. I just realized I'm wearing socks and how weird that is, so I'm going to take my socks off. Adios, socks. Okay. All right, so next up we've got caterpillar pose. So the more that you flex your toes back towards your face, the deeper that you're going to feel the stretch along the back of your legs. Find what works for you today. If your legs are screaming at you, you might need to have your toes pointing forward, and that's okay. You're going to walk yourself down using that breath. So really bringing your belly towards the thighs. So I'm not reaching towards my toes and creating a lot of rounding in the upper back. You're going to instead pull that chest forward. Bend in the knees is okay for belly towards thighs. So this is very similar to a forward fold. If you find that you have trouble with those forward folds, trying this caterpillar stretch is a great way to get there. And it's also, like I said, awesome to sit up on this block. Sitting up on the block, you can still walk your glutes back behind you, find that forward hinge, and it's just a little bit less pressure. I have to be careful with this one because sitting up higher, I have the tendency to press my heels into the floor and really lock my knees out, which I'm not entirely trying to do. So, you know, just being smart for your body, finding what feels good and embracing that. All right, go ahead, walk yourself back up. Next up, we're going to go for a cross-legged forward fold, a little bit more of a stretch. It's going to hit throughout the side of the leg into the calf as well, especially as you flex your toes back towards your face. So lift up that right leg, cross it over your left. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Find that forward hinge, start to bring your belly towards your thighs. If this is too much of a stretch for you, you can always uncross that leg and come back into another caterpillar. Keep working to flex the toes of the top foot towards your face. You're doing awesome. There might be some trembling or shaking. We're going to hang out here for 2 more super slow breaths. I really encourage you to focus especially on the length of that exhale. Make it longer than your inhale to decrease that heart rate. And then slowly, gently lift yourself up. Bring your hands by your hips back into staff pose. Go ahead, uncross your legs. Feel free to windshield wipe your feet, bob your knees. Take away any tension that might have built. You can shake those shoulders out. And let's go ahead and get the opposite side. So finding some length in that right leg, we're going to lift the left leg up and cross it over. Keeping both sit bones grounded. Find that forward hinge from your hips. Belly comes towards thighs. Really start to flex the toes of that left foot back to your face. Stretching through your heel. Great. Enjoy those slow, deep breaths right here. Can you work to make your breath so quiet and relaxed that if someone else were in the room, they wouldn't even hear you? So you still do want to find the edge of the stretch. You just want to make sure that you're still really enjoying those big, full, deep belly breaths the whole time. Let's take 2 more. Beautiful. On that exhale, start to walk those hands back. Feel free to bend your knees this time. Really lean back. Ooh. And just windshield wipe those knees side to side. A little massage of the glutes. If you want a quick sip of water, grab yourself a quick sip of water. And then we're going to come over onto hands and knees. We'll take a moment in cat-cow, and then we will do a quick little down dog. I know, my water looks just like coffee. Okay, so getting your hands palms underneath of your shoulders and your hips stacked right on top of your knees. Just take a moment right here to shake it out. Oh, little free stretch, just finding what feels good. One more opportunity to just notice how your body is feeling. What's on your mind right now? Are you still within the presence of this practice, or did turning over start to lead your mind someplace else? Maybe noticing things that are array around the room, or starting to be concerned about other things that are on your plate for today. It's so normal during yoga practice for these quote-unquote Western thoughts to pop into our heads. So just do your best to come back to your breath, to remind yourself that you made this time, that you're going to enjoy it, that everything else that needs to be done will get done, and it'll get done even better because you made this time for yourself. Okay, take a moment, shake those wrists out. We're not going to spend a lot of time in down dog. We are going to work to press ourselves up there. All right, so hands, palms underneath of your shoulders. Go ahead and tuck your toes under, curl your toes. Pull your belly in, send your hips up towards the ceiling. And feel free to enjoy a really generous bend in your knees, belly coming towards your thighs. You can even walk your feet in a little bit closer. And as we're still just warming up the body, feel free to walk the dog, bending one knee and then the other, working to get those heels towards the floor. Big stretches once again on the back of the legs. And I really want you to work to bring belly towards your thighs so that your biceps are close by your ears. You're pressing your hands, palms into the floor, really warming up that upper body. Great. We're going to take 4 more breaths here. Can you release those heels down towards the floor? Creating as long, as straight of a line as you can from your hands through your hips. Take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, go ahead, release your knees back down towards the floor. You can untuck your toes, take a moment, lift your hands up, shake those hands out. Next up, we're going to come into dolphin. Great. So for this next time, we're going to bring our forearms down towards the mat. I even like to bring my hands, palms together to create a more stable base. Maybe it's not the right thing to do, but you have to do what feels right for you. Maybe you can always have your forearms down on the mat. It's just gonna bring a little extra challenge to the openness of your shoulders, and I know that mine are very tight, so I'm bringing mine together just to be smart and safe for myself. Once again, tucking those toes under, send those hips up towards the ceiling, and send your belly towards the thighs. If this feels really awkward for you, if this is too much in the shoulders coming down the back, you can always bring your hands, palms back down to the floor and press yourself up into down dog again. Once again, working to get the belly towards the thighs, really press the elbows, the forearms down to the mat for 3. 2. 1. And then go ahead, release those knees back down to the floor. See, I'm a nice lady. Okay. Send your hips back towards your heels. Take a moment, just shake those glutes out. Stretch through your fingers. One more time, a big stretch on those shoulders. Then I want you to pull the weight forward. Stack your shoulders on top of your hands, palms. Go ahead, tuck those toes under. We're going to press ourselves up into a plank. Yay! I just decided to add this because it seems so fun. All right, so we're going to plank it out right here. We're not in down dog, so hips are not up towards the ceiling. It helps if you contract your glutes. Pull that belly in and shift the weight forward. We're hanging out here for 3, 2, 1, and then open up whichever side you want to for a nice side plank for 3, 2, 1. Slowly, gently bring that hand down to the floor. Straight arm plank. 2, 1. Other side plank for 3, 2, 1. Let's go a little bit longer this time. Great work. 3, 2, 1. One more time, opposite side. Keep it up for 3, 2, 1. Coming through for that straight arm plank. You can open those feet a little bit wider to help with that stable base. Keep your stomach pulled in for 3, 2, 1. And last time, open up to the side. For 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands back to the floor. Send your hips up towards the ceiling. Take a moment in your down dog. And then just start to walk your hands up towards your feet or your feet towards your hands. We're going to take a moment in the forward fold. So as you get towards the top or the middle of your mat, wherever you found yourself, remember you can keep that big bend in your knees. You can even separate your feet a little bit wider if you need to, if you're accommodating for some belly. But way better to take this big bend in your knees, to shift the weight into your heels, to send those hips back, and to work to slowly lift your hips up, than it is to have those legs straight, to be reaching towards the floor. So much uncomfortable pressure on your back. So take that bend in your knees. If you need to, you can always use a prop to place on your hands to help yourself feel supported as you just work to gain the strength. This is a big stretch on the back of the legs. This is the same stretch that we were enjoying in Caterpillar. Awesome. I'm going to give you an option to open your shoulders right here. So go ahead, bring your hands palms together behind your back, interlace those fingers. And then just work to bring those pinky fingers forward with your fingers interlaced. Now, if that was super hard for you, but it sounds like something that you really want to try, you can always grab your strap. Hopefully it was nearby. And use that strap to bring those arms up overhead. Can you still bring your thumbs, your palms face in towards each other? Awesome. 3, 2, 1. Release your bind on whatever it is. Slowly, gently roll yourself up. 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive back down towards the floor. So belly nice and tight. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale one more time down into your forward fold. Great. From here, we're going to just come back down to the floor. And next up, we're going to go for a nice shoulder stretch. Back into those shoulders. So staying down on our mats for the rest of the class. All right, get back into tabletop, hands, palms underneath the shoulders. Take that left hand, keep it grounded. Inhale your right arm up towards the ceiling. Eyes follow hand. Really find that big stretch, that lift, that openness, and then exhale. Bring that right shoulder down to the floor. Right temple comes down to the floor. We're going to take our left hand and reach it up towards the sky. So that way you're applying a little bit more pressure of the right shoulder. You can even shift your hips over to the right. It's going to help you balance here a little bit. Come back to those big, slow belly breaths. And just notice that what's even happening with your hands stretching up towards the ceiling. Can you go ahead and bring your 5 fingers to touch each other? Take one more big inhale.
Exhale your left hand down towards the floor. Bring it underneath of your shoulder. Inhale that right arm up towards the ceiling. Open up your chest. And exhale, release your right hand down towards the floor. Ground it down. Get ready to do the same thing with the left side. So inhale, left arm up towards the ceiling. Look up towards it. All 5 fingers are touching. You're going to exhale them underneath of your body and shift onto that left shoulder. Even shifting your hips to the left to inhale your right arm up towards the ceiling. You can relax your eyes wherever you want, but if you happen to notice your hand up towards the sky or all 5 fingers touching each other, take 2 more big breaths right here. Beautiful. Release your right hand back down towards the floor, right under that shoulder. Inhale your left arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release that left hand down to the floor. We're going to shift over onto our glutes. Come into whatever seated position feels good for you. I'm going to come back into Sukhasana because that is my favorite easy pose. Next up, we're going to do a little tricep stretch. So if it feels good for you, if you'd rather have those legs out nice and straight, please do what feels right. Let's go ahead, inhale both arms up overhead. Take a bend of that right arm. You can use your left hand to gently press on that right arm. Can you walk your right hand fingertips closer to your right shoulder? Really work to gently lift and pull that up and back. Can you still create space of shoulders away from your ears, or did they creep up big time there? Take a couple breaths right here to work to find that length. And then on your next inhale, stretch both hands back up towards the ceiling. And ooh, that felt good. Let's get that tricep stretch on the opposite side. So as you bring your hands down behind you, can you even walk those fingertips closer towards your left shoulder? Make sure you're still really reaching up and back. Work to relax your shoulders away from your ears. Take one more big breath right here. And then exhale, stretch up towards the ceiling. Relax and release your arms down by your side. Shake it out for just a moment. Next up, we're going to go for some cow face. Just the arms. We're not going to worry about our legs for cow face today. If you know that it's very hard for you to bring those hands palms together, why not put a strap in your hand? You can always walk your fingertips towards each other, and if they touch, beautiful. And if they don't touch, you're doing your best by using your prop. So go ahead, bring your strap into your left hand. We're going to once again inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, relax and release that left hand down, and feel free to use your right hand to start to help you come into that big tricep stretch. Then we're gonna exhale our left hand down to the floor. I get a little confused of right and left there. You know what? You're doing one hand and then the other, and then you're just walking those fingertips closer towards each other. Can you get your fingers to touch today? Take 2 more big breaths right here. And then feel free to just completely release the strap. We're going to inhale, stretch that right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release it down towards the floor. Take a moment, just do what feels good. I'm just going to sway like a tree in the breeze. Do a couple sexy little shoulder rolls to help relax the tension out of the shoulders. All right, let's go ahead and get the other side. So this time grabbing hold of your strap in the opposite hand. If we're doing the same thing as me, we have the strap in our left hand. We're going to inhale both arms up overhead and bend that left elbow. Start to walk those fingers down your back. Release your right hand down towards the floor. Come towards your strap. Gently start to walk them up. Can you get your fingers together? Some people find it very easy to do both sides. Some people find it very difficult to do both sides. Maybe you can get one and not the other. working to increase that range of motion in our shoulders and upper body. Go ahead, take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, you can release the strap. Extend your left arm up towards the ceiling. Release your right hand from behind you. Go ahead, bring them towards your knees and enjoy some of those sexy shoulder circles or whatever felt right for you. All right, we're gonna still work to open the back. I'm gonna turn backwards just in case you're watching me and not just using words for guidance. All right, so still here in our Sukhasana or easy pose, we're gonna reach our hands behind us and we're gonna work to bring our fists together. So I have my knuckles in towards each other. I'm not collapsing down and forward. Sit bones are ground into the mat. Think about drawing your elbows back towards each other so there's a little bit of an arch of the upper back, and then pull that belly in nice and tight to remove some of the arch. Now you can stay right here, just working to bring your knuckles together. Might already be very challenging. If it's easy for you, can you bring your hands together, working to bring those palms together and gently walking them up your back for a little reverse prayer. Can you even cross your thumbs here, relaxing those shoulders away from your ears. Elbows are drawing back and also down towards the floor. Sit bones are ground, pull that belly in nice and tight. Find one spot to focus your eyes and take 3 more breaths. On your next exhale, we're going to gently release those fingers down towards the floor. You can draw them back forward towards your knees. And go ahead, shake those shoulders out. Come on back onto your knees. We're going to come into child's pose, but still find a stretch of those elbows in child's pose. So, child's pose with reverse prayer. So walking those hands out in front of you, come into your child's pose. Go ahead, bring those hands palms together, press your elbows into the floor, and then bring your fingers towards the back of your head. The more that you stretch your elbows forward and really start to press your chest into the floor, the more you'll feel the stretch on all those areas we were just working together. Take one more big breath, and then go ahead, extend those arms out in front of you. We're going to lift our bellies off of our thighs, bringing our, bringing our chest a little bit closer towards the floor for puppy pose. If you need to, you can even open your legs a little bit wider, depending on how just tight your chest and back are is going to limit how low you can get for puppy pose. Maybe you're coming close towards the floor. As we get closer towards the end here, I encourage you to use your last couple of breaths to bring that chest, to bring that armpit, to bring your chin down towards the floor. Feeling that stretch really in the upper back shoulder area, especially if your chest is down and your chin is in front of you. For 3, 2, 1. Sink those hips back towards your heels. Awesome. We've just got time for not everything I want to do. All right, let's take one more big opening posture. We'll try bow on the floor. So bring your bellies down towards the floor. If you're feeling really tight, you can always try this one leg at a time. I'm going to guide you through how to do it 2 legs at a time just to try. So we're going to bend both of our knees. Get your pubic mound down on the floor. So I just took a moment to walk my knees a little closer towards the mat so that my thighs were not at all bunched up underneath of me. All right, you're going to reach back and grab hold of your feet. If you can't grab hold of your feet with both hands at the same time, you're going to grab hold of just one. You can have that other arm either extended out to the side or right by your shoulder. I want you to squeeze your glutes so that your kneecaps already start to lift up off of the floor. And then on your next inhale, lift your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling. You can roll forward one time onto your belly. Look up, try and see your toes. Take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, slowly, gently release. Release your hands from your feet. If you were only able to do one side, let's go ahead and get the other side. We'll do one more time through. So bend your knees once again. 6 inches between your knees, 6 inches between your feet. Go ahead, stretch your chin out on the mat in front of you. Engage your glutes. Kneecaps already start to lift up off the floor. Take one more deep inhale and lift yourself up. Look up towards the ceiling. Roll forward onto the fleshy part of your belly. Squeeze your glutes. Draw that line with your knees up towards the ceiling and look up for 3, 2, 1. Change. Slowly, gently release yourself down. Go ahead, press yourself up. Let's come into a kneeling position because I promised you that we'd do a little bit more shoulder opening with the strap right before we finish. So before we lay down for our final Savasana, come into any seated position of your choice. Grab hold of your strap or makeshift strap. Roll those shoulders down and back. Pull that belly in nice and tight. We're going to inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up, nice and slow. Exhale down. Keep your belly pulled in. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's go 2 more times through. If you want, you can try and walk your hands in a little bit closer. Inhale up. We are working to come down in one smooth motion, not one side and then the other. Inhale up. Exhale down. However, if that's what you need to do today based on the size of your strap, if you need to go one side and then the other, honor what works for you. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's inhale up one more time. Inhale up. Relax those shoulders from your ears. Go ahead, stretch over to the left side. Inhale back to center. Stretch over to the right side. One more time each side. Inhale back to center. Stretch over to the left. Inhale back. And stretch over to the right. Both arms come back up to the top. Go ahead, bring them down in front of you. Take your time, lay down on your back. Let's let this practice soak in a final Savasana. We've just got about 2 minutes here to enjoy a final Savasana together. But I want to remind you that Savasana is still a posture. It is corpse pose, and you're just working to be as still as you can, bringing the same focus and attention to this posture as you did all the other moving meditations we went through today. Remember, if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving, so find that one spot to focus your eyes or close them. Come back to your breath. And once again, scan your body from head to toe. Just notice if you're still feeling any points of tension. Do you feel the same as you did when we started class about 44 minutes ago? Do you feel lighter, more open? Maybe you don't, and that's totally okay. Just be honest with yourself. Can you think of one thing right now that you are thankful for today? Some days it's hard to think of just one great thing. And some days our mind is just a river of awesomeness. So wherever you are at today, I just want you to thank yourself for creating this time for your mental and physical space. You're welcome to stay down here in this Savasana for as long as honors you. Let's hang out down here while we close our practice. So go ahead, bring your hands, palms to the center of your chest. Take a moment and still tuck your chin to your chest. Get as much of your neck vertebrae flat on the mat as you can. Honor yourself. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that we said or did, I hope that you will reach out. In the meantime, continue to think good thoughts, speak good words, eat good foods, and do good deeds to nourish yourself from the inside and out. Go ahead, bring your thumb to your drishti, your third eye, that space between your eyebrows, and stretch your elbows up towards the ceiling. Press that mid back into the mat. And may the light within me honor and see the light within you. Namaste.